Merry Christmas, everybody! Woo! It is my favorite time of the year and also very hectic time of the year, but I really couldn't not hop on here and wish you and your families a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and holy crap, an almost brand new year, a new decade, 2020. I am so excited and so ready for you. I've never been more ready for a fresh, new, clean slate, brand new start. I mean, 2020 is just a great representation of a new beginning, and I am entering it with so much faith, so much clarity. I feel like I learned so much about this year, about myself within this year I meant, and what I want and where I'm headed, that yeah, I'm really excited for 2020 to kind of just go, 2020, clear vision and declaring clear skies. Please, Jesus, baby Jesus. As much as this is my favorite time of the year, I kind of wanted to hop on here and keep it raw and real with you and give you a little Christmas confession, because as much as 'tis the season to be jolly and to be merry, it's also a season that can be quite emotional. And for many, especially within our cancer community, it could be the first year where you're missing a loved one. It could be a year, in fact, that you're missing a loved one that you've lost 10 years ago, yet it doesn't change the fact that, when Christmas comes around and everyone gathers with their families, their grandparents, it's emotional. It's the time that, we look back at all the memories we had as a child, and we miss the people who are no longer with us, and I get that. And for others, it could bring up traumas. It's such a big milestone for everyone's lives, like the holidays, right? So for people who had bad experiences, who had a divorce or breakup or something around this time of the year that makes you feel really emotional and could actually trigger sadness, I just want to say that my heart is with you, and it's normal, and you're not alone. And the reason why I'm also saying that is because my Christmas confession to you is that this year in particular has been a bit of these holidays this year in particular has been a bit of a trigger for me. In fact, as you may have noticed, 2019 has probably been one of my biggest years, my busiest years, and October, November were insanely busy. If not, actually, let me just say it, the whole 2019 was extremely busy. I think I traveled every single month of the year, and my biggest takeaway, because I'm so grateful for it, is that actually, like, if I were to jump on here and give you one life lesson from 2019 like I normally do, it's that there was literally nothing that I said I wanted to do that I didn't do this year, despite a stage 4 cancer diagnosis. Let's just let that sink in. And for me as well, this is like almost like a video diary for myself, and that's because, there's so many moments where I'm like, okay, I want to go here, I want to do that, I want to speak here, I want to, just all my crazy ambitions that I have. And I would often spend nights where I'm like, oh my god, but what if this happens? What if I can't go? What if I can't travel? There is literally not one thing in 2019 that I wanted to do that didn't happen. So yeah, keep believing in yourself. So back to my Christmas confession. Because life has been extremely busy, I decided to take December completely off, and I said no to so many partnerships, so many events, and I've really been spending my days of December like right here in my nook writing, because we are writing the Thriver's Guide. By we, I mean Stephanie, Saban, and I, and we've been doing our podcast and just focusing on some of my personal projects, but as well as resting and relaxing and reflecting. And because December has been a bit of a hibernating time in my life, I've been forced to deal with my emotions, which is a great but hard thing to do. And this time of the year in particular has been a trigger, because it was around the winter time that I had discovered that the cancer had metastasized to the lungs, and I had developed a cough, which then led to me finding out that 3 years ago on January 6, 2017, I had a recurrence and I had stage 4 metastatic breast cancer. And it's like, you know, when the weather drops and then you're just like, ooh, this is familiar. And then the Christmas lights go up and then you're like, ooh, this feels familiar. And then suddenly you start feeling like nervous and anxious, and you don't really know why, because it should be joyful and exciting, because who doesn't love Christmas time? I know I always love Christmas. So then you feel a little confused about these feelings that are now arising that are a bit unpleasant. And for me, it's because in 2016, the Christmas of 2016 and New Year's of 2016, I was having a blast, and I really genuinely believed that everything was perfectly fine and okay, and that I probably just had, you know, a cold and a cough like every single other Montrealer really at this time of the year. So almost like I felt like fooled, you know, to think that I was extremely happy and joyful, when really I did not know that cancer had metastasized inside me. And that was just a really big slap in the face when I found out in the new year of 2017. So this pattern that I've been experiencing, to be completely honest, is sometimes when I feel really joyful and happy, and like I actually am able to put all the fear away and just live in the moment, I have this little like twinks little devil that pops up, and it's like, hey, don't be too happy, Nalie. Don't be a fool this time. And yeah, that fucks with me a little. I'm gonna just say it. It messes me up. And so I've been experiencing that a little bit this time of the year, as the temperature drops, as the lights go up, as we're counting down to a new decade. And these are the patterns that we have to learn to break. And that's why I've been taking time for myself to acknowledge these feelings, but also replace that perspective with another, and replace these days with positive memories, and create new ones. You know, of course, traditions are amazing because they're so familiar and they're comforting. And I am a traditional gal. We do the same thing every Christmas and the same party every New Year. But I think sometimes it's important to take a step back and even, you know, do our best to create different memories, to replace the old ones, and, you know, unlearn patterns, and really allow myself to be joyful and to be happy, because I deserve it. And just because something that happened in the past doesn't mean it's going to happen again. But what happens is we tend to remain in those emotions of the past, and we relive them, and we allow that to take over ourselves and take over our lives without even realizing. So if you are feeling like me this time of the year, I highly encourage you to take some time to not just celebrate, but to reflect and to acknowledge that maybe you are living past emotions, and that it's time to move on and create new memories that will trigger new emotions, so that we can actually have a brand new beginning this 2020. That being said, I wish you all so much joy, love, abundance, prosperity. May all your dreams come true in 2020. I am not going anywhere anytime soon, so I'll be sure to record more videos. Check out thethriversguide.com, which is the book I am writing with Stephanie. Check out Thriver Talks podcast. We launch an episode weekly every Thriver Talks Thursday, so that's where you can find me regularly, and of course on social media. So Merry Christmas, everybody! Kneel your hat. I really sincerely love you all and wish you all the best. And yeah, let go. have fun.